Hey, Tony, as your agent, I gotta tell you, you're doing pretty well, man.
I know, right?
Views are looking pretty good, so yeah. What's your next video about?
Oh, it's funny you asked that. Yeah, my next video is about my issues with women's football. Yes, he's knocked out. The body's in the closet in his house. He always makes jokes about Pedro Neto. Let's just say Neto put a hit on him or something. After that, we'll make an AI video of him saying goodbye to his subscribers. Bruz! It is your boy, the Streets Champ. No! Tubby World, Tubby World. No! Time. Excellent. The door's locked. Damn it, Toby, open this door! Bow. Ban it out. Ban it out. It is time to talk about why women belong in the kitchen. There's an extra key in the kitchen. And what? They got players like Sam Kerr? More like Nick. Toby, we have worked far too hard for this. Not gonna let you get canceled before we even hit 50,000 subscribers. Okay, now hold on, bro. Before you try to knock me out again, just hear me out, okay? I make videos criticizing the men's game all the time. By that metric, I should be allowed to talk about the women's game as well. Okay, you're right. Thank you. Now, could you please help me with the rest of my intro? No, I'm not a YouTuber. Oh, okay. I guess we're playing like that then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a YouTuber's balls before? Okay. Guys, please subscribe. We're on the road to 100,000. We want to hit 100,000 before 2026. Shout out to the people that are already subscribed. They're called the Day One Ooses. Yes, whatever, the Day One Ooses, and those that haven't subscribed but are gonna subscribe today, you're the honorary Ooses. Yes, whatever Oos you are, just please subscribe, okay? And join the journey. Say it. No. Say it. Not this piece of crap. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're new here, then just say you're new to the journey and all the OG day, whatever they're called. Just make them feel welcome. Toby's gonna do the same. Toby, am I done here? I'm pretty satisfied. Let's get on with the video.
Come on! You know I got you!
Alright, first off, the marketing for women's matches is absolute ass. You see, I could talk about the terrible broadcasting, but sometimes the only way you can watch a women's game is by finding it on a site, which I don't personally do. And even through that method, you're gonna have to like watch through 3 or 4 different sites, and you gotta hack through that shit like your prime Aiden Pierce. But you see, the match marketing isn't my main issue. No, my main issue is the player marketing. Now you see, in men's football, the most popular players are typically the best ones. Ronaldo, Messi are by far the most followed footballers ever, and that's based on the fact that they've been the best players for pretty much the last 2 decades. Okay, now that that's sorted out, let's take a look at the 5 most followed women's football players. In 5th place is Norma Palafox with 2.2 million followers on IG. Now, like everybody that follows her, I'm gonna come clean. She only has this many followers because she has a grande culo. In the landscape of women's football, she's nothing special. And yet she is the 5th most followed women's footballer ever, courtesy of pure ass. Getting that many followers just because of pure ass. That's like Rasmus Højlund having 200 million followers. The 4th most followed is Marta, 2.9 million followers. An absolute legend in the game. This kind of influence is a testament to her legacy. This one, I can't complain about. This next one, I can. 3rd most followed is Anna Markovic. Yep, same as Palafox. Dudes arrive at her Instagram account with a full load and leave empty. 2nd most followed is Alexia Putellas. 3.3 million followers. She's what, the 2nd, 3rd best women's footballer right now? This is 100% justified. And then we get to number 1, who has more followers than everybody else in the top 5 combined.
How about that prick's face when he showed a gat?
Alicia Lehman with 16 million followers. The face of women's football is Alicia f***ing Lehman. Okay, so guys, I really wanted to put into context how crazy and absurd this is. So I want to show you guys the male football equivalent of Lehman. Now, she is 26 and she plays as a winger. Now, guys, do not let that ass fool you, okay? She is not world class. To be honest, in the women's football game, she is kind of average. I know a lot of people put onus on FIFA ratings, so in FIFA, she is a staggering 81 rating. So I did some research. I sought out to find a male footballer that is 25 to 26 years old, also plays on the wing just like Layman, and is not really world class, and probably like a good 80 to 82 rated on FIFA, right? And ladies and gentlemen, we have our comparison. The male footballing equivalent of Alicia Layman is Jadon Sancho. Now imagine Jadon Sancho being the most followed footballer in the world. A lot of women's footballers are only gassed because they look like Kelly Kelly. Like, bro, I went onto YouTube to look up Alicia Layman's goals, so I typed in Alicia Layman G before I could even finish typing in goals. The first search was not Alicia Layman goals, it was Alicia Layman yachts. Women's football needs to do a better job at actually marketing their actual good players. And at the same time, you gooners need to chill the f out.
You know I gotcha. Yeah.
So here's another issue that I have with women's football. Stop playing under 15 boys. It ends the same way every time. I know every time a bunch of grown-ass women rock up to an under 15 boys training ground, they're just thinking to themselves, how many times do we gotta teach you this lesson, old man? Look, this isn't WWE, okay? Stop the intergender matches. It's like women's football reaches a new height, breaks a new attendance record, makes more revenue than ever before, silences all the critics, finally get the respect that they've been trying to get for decades. And then they think to themselves, hey, we're doing pretty good right now. You know what we should do? Let's beat a couple of kids. And they lose 7-1 every time. Look, women's football is on fire lately, okay? Let's not f that up with a little bad press. So women are about what, 8 to 10% smaller than men, right? And I mean the average man, compared to, I don't know, like my goat, yeah, they're about the same size. So why do they play in these big ass stadiums that the guys play in too? This is why a lot of women's games feels very slow paced and tired, especially like after the hour mark, because they be playing on pitches that is just way too broad for them. Like guys, if men were playing on pitches that are 20% bigger than what they're used to, high quality Champions League matches are gonna start looking like AFCON matches after extra time. Now, of course, I'm not stupid, okay? I recognize that you can't build a stadium that accommodates women's footballers because they haven't generated enough revenue to necessitate a task like that. But what about doing something for free, like reducing the pitch size by maybe 20%? Now, I know the distance between the fans and the pitch is gonna feel as distant as a West Ham game where if the fans ever tried a pitch invasion, they'd have to take a taxi there. But I genuinely just think that the match is gonna flow better that way. Also, a lot of goals in women's matches are ridiculous to say the least. But hey, again, I want to say women's goalkeepers are typically shorter than male goalkeepers, and yet they still use the same goalpost length. So how about instead of women using the typical 8 foot by 24 feet, they instead make it 7 feet by 20 feet? I know a lot of people like how the women's game's going right now, but I think this could go a long way in preventing certain things, such as last year, everybody in the men's game was complaining about a rise in ACL injuries. I know women's football fans were looking at them and thinking, hey, first time? But yes, ACLs in the women's game is as common as OF models in the comment section of a Twitter post. It happens more frequently in the women's game than it does in the men's game. Now, look, I'm as much of a doctor as Johnny Sins is, so I can't even begin to tell you why exactly this all happens. Another thing that keeps women out of the game for ages is pregnancies. Okay, the serious stuff that I feel about the women's game, I'm pretty much done with that. These next couple of things are just, you know, some dumb stuff that I want to talk about. Then I want to talk about something else in length a little later on in this video. All right, so firstly, pregnancies. Yeah, that must suck, right? Imagine your favorite women's footballer, hopefully the one that's not just known for her ass, is just banging in goal after goal after goal every game, and she's in the form of her life. Then her doofus husband decides one night, you know what, I want to bring another doofus into this world, and gets her pregnant. Boom, she's out for 9 months now. This is like Jordan Pickford taking out Virgil van Dijk during his prime. Another issue is something that men's football fans don't really got to worry about. Imagine buying your favorite women's footballer's kits. Let's say you buy Lauren James kits with her name in the back, but But then Lauren James decides to marry a guy named Richard De La Runa. And now, because of marital laws, her name is Lauren De La Runa. So you have essentially just bought a kit with a dead name on it. And now you just gotta cope. You gotta pretend that this is Reese James' kid. And last thing I've always wondered. Okay, so in the men's game, there are no women managers. But in the women's game, there's a lot of male managers. Do you guys think a male manager has, like ever been in the change? You know what? Never mind. Okay, guys, it is time for the final segment. These are things that men complain about in the women's game that really ain't that deep. Oh, I forgot to say, guys, make sure you like this video and comment who you're dedicating your like to. I'm dedicating this to my boy Dimitar Berbatov when he played for Fulham. Now, a lot of male football fans complain when a woman is commentating on a men's game. I don't know her name, but there's this female commentator that commentates on Premier League games, and every time she does, people always complain, right? Look, man, I don't think she's the worst. Have you ever heard Jamie Carragher's commentary for a Liverpool game? It is just 90 minutes of pure dick riding in your ear. And every time Liverpool score, he comes back like a minute later, all breathless and joyful. Like he just had a quickie in the booth. Or Peter Drury, who honestly, for the most part, I really do appreciate, but we don't always need poetry. I remember he had this piece of commentary where he was talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he was saying how he was the boy that grew up as a fan of Spider-Man. Peter, that's literally every fucking boy ever. What does having to be a fan of Spider-Man have to do with a striker that scores 2 goals a season for Everton? I mean, as a whole, I do think that modern English commentary is mid. If you really want to enjoy a game, slap on some Arab commentary. It could be the most boring game ever, and these guys will be hyping that shit up, making it feel like if one of the team loses, then their family members are literally gonna be slaughtered outside of the stadium. Arab commentators start singing random songs, they point out baddies in the stands. Like, man, they just elevate games. So yes, I do think there's a problem in English commentary, but it's definitely not the women. Next complaint from guys is women in FIFA. Now listen, y'all. I understand some of the complaints. How do you think I feel when my 6'5" demigod Virgil van Dijk loses an aerial battle to 5'3" Japanese schoolgirl Riza Shimizu? But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, we really shouldn't be bothered about this. One, I am urging you guys to not have any emotional investment in Ultimate Team in 2025. And two, saying that women having the same rating as guys or outdoing guys or being in the same team as guys in Ultimate Team is unrealistic, is kind of pointless, because I could boot up Ultimate Team right now and make a team that has an attack of Gabriel Martinelli and Pele and get scored on by my opponent who is playing Peter Cech at striker. Nothing about this is realistic. And last but not least, another complaint that men have about women in football is Aluko. Now look, I personally feel that Aluko is the dumbest person that has ever appeared in front of a TV ever. But unfortunately, Aluko suffers from something called the burden of representation. So that means if a certain person from a certain demographic does something stupid, it's not just them that gets hate, it's their entire demographic that gets hate. It's like when I say something stupid and then my people get criticized. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like when I say something stupid and you guys criticize billionaires. I am, of course, joking. Manscaped, please sponsor my next video. I am on the verge of bankruptcy. So guys, that's why I have to say this. If somebody like Aluko says something stupid, let's not make it a thing about her people. Let's make it about her. Aluko's dumb. F women. Whoa, no. That's not what we're doing. Aluko's dumb. F black women. No. That's not it either. Aluko's dumb. Damn, she's stupid, man. You know what, man? We'll take that. We'll take that. It's a work in progress. But anyways, guys, that's all my criticisms. None of this really comes from a place of hate. I enjoy women's football. And as a Chelsea fan, I really enjoy us winning every single season. And look, y'all, this ain't the early 2000s anymore. The women's game is doing great. And with even more time, it's going to be doing even better. And that's how I feel about World Gang. So shout out to everybody that has joined the journey today, everybody that's been part of the journey, that everybody that is a part of World Gang. We're trying to hit 100,000. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and comment if you're new here as well, guys. What do you guys think about the video? How do you guys feel about the women's game? Is there anything that you'd want to change? Is there anything that you think is actually pretty good that they've worked on? You feel me? It's all football at the end of the day. So guys, it has been your boy, the Streets Champ. I love you all so much, and I've just given you the gift of soul.
drink it in, man.